Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce CMAtics video session 230. So basically in today's video, we will actually try to understand the SQL related to absolute dates. So in the previous session, we practiced all about the relative dates. In today's session, we will practice about absolute dates and we will of course follow that same process. So the pattern is, just to write each and every line of code of SQL on your own. Okay. It will help you to master it. It will help you to be confident as well as of course at a later stage when things become complex, you can always take the help of the AI. That is completely fine. And it also will help you to prepare better for the interview as well. Okay. So firstly, what I'm going to do is on the app launcher, I will take the same data set, of course. Okay. So I'm taking the opportunity SQL data set here. Now, once we complete this, what we will do, we will do a mixture of filters. Okay. So we will, I mean, not mixture, I mean, we will bring everything. So we will bring the, for example, the dimensions, we will bring the group by, okay, we will do the filters, we will do the limit, we will do the order by, something which I was avoiding till now. We will do everything at once and we will then write a proper structured SQL, of course. Okay. But as of now, we will just continue with each of the portion as we are going on. And yeah, let's see how things goes about and how much you are also able to do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this custom absolute. Now, firstly, let's say this one for created it, I select something like less than or equal to, okay, let me select less than or equal to 23 itself. Okay, that's fine. So created it is on or before 23/10/2024. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for close date. So close date, what I will do is I will go for, sorry, I will again go for absolute, of course. And here for close date, maybe I can select a range. Okay, so I think 8, 24, 8 to 69, 969 was, sorry, 16 to 9 to, okay, 2034. Fine, this range is fine, it seems for me. Okay, or let me select 24 itself, 24, and let's see if we have the August. Okay, we don't have the August month. I think this is fine for me. Okay, 24/9. I'm clicking on and. Okay, now here, as you can see, like we will have the and condition. That is when I'm getting the result. So what is the condition here? The created date is on or before 23/10/2024 and the close date is between this range. Okay. So first of all, let me write the problem statement. Let me copy this whole thing. Filtered by created date on or before 23/10/2024 and close date between 24/9 to 24/8/2034. I think that is the thing. Okay. So now, first of all, we will of course check how it is written, and then we will of course write it in Notepad++. So see this load group for each limit, everything is known to you. So the important notice like this date part, of course, we know till now in we are giving the date range over here if you see. Okay. So when it comes to absolute date, even if you're writing the less than, so the thing is that you have to give this particular range that is 011. Okay, it's ending on or before, I mean that name is fine, and you have to give in square bracket if you see. Okay, so the date range, you give the numbers 011, that's how it's starting, and you give the particular date before which you want it. Fine. And here also, if you see, like the date range, you are just giving that particular date in year, month, and day format. Okay. So that's it about this. And now let us write the code. Okay. So q equal to load. I will, okay, q equal to filter q by q equal to group q by all q equal to for each q generate equal to, and here I will just give this particular data set name, that is fine. Okay, now I am going to write that statement. So I know created date is on or before this, so created date. Let me write the format first. So in this will be date range, of course. So let me give the year. So here it will be 0, 1, 1. Okay. And here it will be 2024, comma 10, 23. Okay. I think this is fine for me. And date. Yeah, and date range, or this particular range I have given. Okay. And let me write this thing over here. And I will just copy this whole thing here. The function is there. So I'll go to the next line. And here, of course, it will be closed. I think this has to be 24 if I'm not wrong. We will cross check this one. And so here it will be 2024. So I think I'm done. Now we will check this. So Q equal to load this one. Let me open the data set also. We will review this once. Q equal to load this. Q equal to filter Q by date. Created underscore year, created underscore month, created underscore day in date range. I have given this date range. That seems perfectly fine to me. And close date year, close date month in date range. I'm giving the date range as well. And of course, here it will be semicolon. Okay. So now let me check it whether it's working fine or not. So here directly go to SAQL and I will directly paste my code. So there is some issue. I actually got it. There could be some issue. I think here it has to be in bracket, I guess. Okay. So this one has to be in bracket and this one will be in, yeah, this one will be in bracket as well. Okay. I will rectify the mistake over here. Okay, that's fine. This will be an array actually, this particular range. Yeah, and same thing over here also. Okay, in I have to give the array and this is a function, so I have to give the circular brace. I have to give the square bracket. Again, here also the square bracket will be there. And here also if the square bracket is there, this is the array actually, square bracket. I think now it makes sense. Okay. Closed day. Okay, let me search what is the function for, what is the API name for close. Let me check out. So it is see. Okay, closed day. Okay, I think I have to write date over here. Cool. So as you can see, this came up. I just have one confusion here. Basically, it's written as on or before. So when you take this, I'm not quite sure if we take this date or not. I will just cross check that part. So it is 2310 only. Okay, but so it is written here on or before. Okay, let me check. Okay, less than or equal to, on or before, and if you give that, that will take as an equal to only. Okay, 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 I got it. So basically, when you give this range, this is included. Fine. So this range is included. When you give from and to, then you have to exclude those dates. But yeah, these dates are included when you give between. Fine. So that is fine. So 2310 is included as well as this date is included 011. So yeah, that is cool. Here, of course, I made a few mistakes and I worked upon it. So 24.9, this is fine. So the mistake which I made was around this function, right? So that was a minor mistake that anyone could have corrected, but that was the mistake. Like always in, after in you have to give it in basically square bracket, and whatever the function is, that always has to come up in open braces. Okay, so that was a completely different thing which I've written over here, right? So here the thing is that firstly, of course, I had to make it as close date. Okay, that is one part which I missed. But you just see this thing which I have done. Basically, this has to be the date range is a function, so it has to be in circular bracket, and whatever values you give, that has to be in square bracket, right? That's a mistake which I was making. And here also the same thing. So the values has to be in square bracket, and finally the function ends, and finally again you have the square bracket. Okay, similarly is the case over here. Fine. So you give this thing and you give the round bracket function, you give the arrays, you give that over here square bracket, square bracket. Good. I think now it is fine. So yeah, that is about this one. The absolute date. I think practicing one is enough. But as you can see, like this way you might make mistake and you have to always correct it. Okay. Let's try to understand something different over here. So let's say I go back to the chart mode and let's say for this count of rows, let's say I take something like okay, let's say I take greater than, okay, I take greater than 8. Then how it will happen? Fine. So if you take on or after, so as you can see, you include that date and finally you include. So the if you carefully observe, the month and day is always 1 1. So even if you are starting, the month and day will always be 1 1. And even when you're giving the end one, the month and day will always be 1. It's just the year which you have to give something like 9999 if it's the ending part, and if it is the starting part, you have to give 0. Okay. For the year is like from 0 and it's ending till the highest range of 9999. But when you don't have that, in the absolute case, when you don't have the starting range, you just start with 0 comma 1 comma 1. For ending it's 9999 comma 1. So that is about the starting. And yeah, that's it about this video. I hope you understood. So this was all about the absolute date, how to do the filtering on absolute date. And yeah, in our next session we will apply everything. So we will apply the count of rows, for example. Over here we will go for a particular group by as well. Okay, then on the filters I will actually add any particular filter as well. Okay, and I will add multiple filters, and definitely over here I will go for a order by as well. Fine. So in that way we will understand like how to write. So again, the steps are easy. It's just that you have to practice, and you have to ensure that you can do the SQL, all this basic SQL very properly. And you if even if you commit mistake, you learn from those mistakes. Like I am also doing, but I'm learning from the mistake. And when you are pasting it over there, only you get to see that, and then you will be able to resolve that error as well. Okay. So yeah, that's it about this video. Let's meet very soon in our next video. Thank you.